Good afternoon, guys. Good evening, actually. I meant to send a video earlier this morning, and I had something I wanted to add to it, and I forgot to get back to it. So I'm grateful for Brian's email with Dave Clapp saddle pictures, so that I could get back to this because it reminded me of it. So I didn't really get to talk to you guys last Friday because I had a call from my boss and I had to take it, and anyway, so I wanted to just share some things from last week that were kind of nice highlights, I guess. It was kind of a stressful week because there were just some things going on in terms of taking care of Mark that made things a little more stressful. But and actually, I had one day that I just, as far as the lust addiction, I was just ready to cash it in, and just say, forget it. I'm gonna dive onto the internet and just see the rankest stuff I can see or whatever. Thankfully, by God's grace, I did not do that. But I'll come back to that here in a second. But nonetheless, a week ago Sunday, so this would have been it would have been 2 weeks ago this coming Sunday, I was invited to go to a mosque by a friend of mine and just have dinner with them when they broke their fast, during Ramadan. And I ended up seeing at least one other, maybe two other people that I had met before at other mosques or at restaurants. And it was good. I mean, it's sad because they're bowing down to a false god, but and you get to see them pray. But the fact that we have a positive enough relationship that they would invite me to something like that was good. And I just need to continue to pray that God will open doors there for them to hear the gospel and for them to according to God's mercy, their hearts would be changed to love Christ. So that was a real high point. Another thing that happened was after almost 6 years of not connecting at all, I got to spend some time with Bacho Bujadzi, and that was really cool. He and I got to sit down. We sat down for like almost an hour and a half, probably, and just chatted. Just kind of caught up on life. He and I were at Ocean City in '93, and we just had kind of maintained a friendship, over the course of those years, one way or the other. And I know Brian and John, you knew him from, I think, '92, and then I mentioned our little video calls. And he apparently knows you too, Bart, and through Nikki, and so I kind of filled him in on us doing all that, but it was just good to kind of catch up with him and his family and his ministry through Crusade, and he's doing real well. Written a book, has a PhD, still leading Crusade there on campus, and just a treasured friendship, And I came across a quote from Charles Spurgeon on Twitter not too many days later. Actually, I guess it was from yesterday, but it just reminded me. I'm looking at it on the screen right now, and it reminds me of all of you, and it reminded me of Bacho. But the quote is, "Keep the best company. Be much with those who are much with God. Let them be thy choicest companions who have made Christ their choicest companion." And, I feel that way about you guys and Bacho and many others, who, long to walk closely with Christ, and that those are the closest friendships that I have and will have and need them as well. It seems like there was something else I was going to say, but I don't recall it at the moment. Trying to remember. Anyway. Oh, I know. In the midst of kind of that really rough time with lust the other day, the only thing that got me through the day was going and reading. I was reading the scriptures and just, I was in Proverbs and I was reading. There's so much of it that's just, you're blessed if you do this. You're not. You're cursed if you do this. You're blessed if you do this. You're not blessed if you don't do whatever it is. And I just kept praying through those things, just God, you say we're blessed if we follow this course, and I pray for that blessing. And you say here that we are, cursed, or we are going to have pain if we follow this course, and just don't allow me to do that. And Holy Spirit, don't allow me to go down that path. And just praying through, a chapter of Proverbs like that, just, it really helped and really got me through that moment, just claiming God's promises and asking the Holy Spirit to make them real in me. So, all right, I will let you all go. Good to share this with you, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow morning.